Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier, and we are in our elimination match, AGT. Coming in clutch, picking up a big dub inside of game number one. And quite the statement made, Rude Dude.
Yeah, a truly massive dub, honestly, if we're being completely honest. They played Lucian Nami, and honestly, if we said that that was all that really happened in the game, that would probably be the best way for you to look at it, because they played Lucian Nami, and then they won through bot lane, Keel passed down to their bot side, they dove on repeat, they found leads through that way, and they never really had a chance to get answered to. It was all AGT for the most part. They had a really good start to the game, their mid game looked very clean, and there was never an end game to speak of, because it ended inside 22 minutes with Shelly doing the majority of the work at 19 minutes in the game.
Yeah, it was a really quick turnabout, and then there was like this big 2-minute long fight that happened right afterwards,
and that happened in 3 different places as well. We had one where it happened at the mid lane inhibitor, and then we had one at the Nexus turrets, and then we had one at the Dragon, and then it went back to the Nexus turrets again when the Nexus turrets went there. Yeah, it was very chaotic for those last couple of minutes, but like we say, AGT, they were come away with that win, and I think that for third party, some very swift adjustments need to be made.
Yeah, I think one of the adjustments, I like the idea that they had in the draft, right? Like they did go to some of their strengths. You talked about it earlier. You want to see just on something that's engaged. They got the Rakan. They put a safe laner in the bot lane in Ezreal. They go for something that is a good pick for messages to Tristana, Will, and known to be a good pick. And then they kind of play this game where they might drop down in gold a little bit, but they don't bleed out. That game was just straight up a slice, and you're bleeding out like immediately. They kept proccing the wound over and over again.
Yeah, I think I want to see them go for just a more aggressive side lane, right? You have Ezreal Sion, that means that you are really looking to that mid lane. And Captain Shrimps is like, okay, well, if I play Karma, you can't really kill me because I'm Karma, and I'm just going to either push the wave AFK and never die, or I can just sit back and, not be in a position to die, not be in a position to get taken out of things. It was really smart adaptation when they saw just 2 weak side lanes that they recognized, okay, we can win through the side lanes. Captain Shrimps, you don't need to do anything, but the fact that you're here and the fact that you're present, more than enough. We're not going to knock it at all. And it is worth mentioning that whilst we got a lot of bot side focus, that the existence Camille top lane was certainly able to show up in that top matchup. Traffy on the Sion never really got a look in at team fights.
Yeah, the headset ultimatums were clutch. They stopped Tristana from being able to move around, and your bright spot on the team is all of a sudden locked down. And one of the concerns that you and me had was, who does the headset ultimatum use? Because, the rest of the team is just going to push past. Well, it's impossible to push past when that Lucian Nami lane gets ahead, when Kill is ahead, when all of a sudden the threats are against you. Everything has been turned against them, and that was a beautiful way that they ended up playing that.
Yeah, we were worried about the potential killing of Sion late game, but we didn't really ever get a Sion late game, and the early game for the Lucian was all too strong. There was a point where he was 3 items, the Sion was 1.5. It was a nightmare. It really didn't look too good, and quite rightly not, as 3P now find themselves backs up against the wall. They have got one more game to stabilize and then another one to win after if they want to stay in the tournament. Or it could just be an early night for us, Travi, if AOE GT, Ginger, Turmeric are able to manage to just get themselves a quick 2-0, continue that same fashion, and pick up an early win.
Yeah, I think this could be very exciting to see, too, if third party is able to come back. Because you brought it up earlier inside of game number one. It's like they're fine with being behind. They're cool with being in the deep end of the pool. They're fine. They know how to swim. And they've shown that time and time again inside the circuit qualifier. So I'm looking to see, how does third party adapt, right? This is a team that's no stranger to being behind and having to fight their way forward.
No, one of the things that I sort of credited them with from last week was their ability to find those team fights from behind. But they weren't able to do it last game, and the question is, can they do it for the next one?
We'll see about that. We are going to throw it over to a short break, and when we come back, we'll be heading into the matchup between these two teams to see what fate holds for them. So do not touch that browser. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming back to the game, and as I promised, we are getting into this draft. We are ready to see what's happening, and the bans are already upon us.
Yeah, we have got Rumble, Senna, Gangplank, we've got Ari, and we've got Rengar from AOE, Ginger, Turmeric. The Rengar ban stays consistent. Good to see that we've got that one still on the board. Trappy and Munchie not going to get their hands on that one. And with Wukong not being a champion that AGT want to play up against, they're not going to give 3P that opportunity to take it. Senna taken off the board, something I'm glad to see. Messages in their games last week did have a very good Talia showing. Excited to see what he can do on this pick that it's let through. But with that, Lucian and Nami remain off the ban table. AGT, they say, hey, wait a minute, we thought that was pretty good last game. We'll do it again.
Woo, man, that's a hard one. Deep Learning and Selena were phenomenal on this too. And now third party, they've got some power picks for themselves, right? They've switched over to the okay. Gauntlet
Let's see
Throne. Let's go.
Let's see it, I guess. We see early game. We will raise you early game. Lucian Nami versus Samira Nautilus. Junglers, get your ganking shoes on. We're going bot lane, I think is what we're going to say here. This is an incredibly volatile bot lane matchup. Whoever gets those first set of kills, whoever's wave is managed the best, is likely going to be able to come out with a win in the bot lane. And whether that stems over to the rest of the map will, of course, have to be seen later on. But for the most part, as much bot lane priority as we can establish, I'm expecting to just see there's real potential for a Nocturne to come out in this game as well, because we haven't seen any of the junglers picked. Viego is still open, and you can see that AGT don't need to ban it away because they're on 4. They can take this Viego for themselves if they want it. But I think that just something along the lines of a Nocturne as well would be really good, because it helps with Munchie starting off fights and also helps with getting down to that bot lane a little bit faster. You've got 2 semi-globals at that point if you are 3P. They lock in the Graves, in fact, for Keel. So instead of that, they're going to go a little bit of a different direction. The Viego's still up, but nobody wants it.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't think Viego's been picked at all, and this is Old Faithful coming out. Xin Zhao coming into the Graves.
We simply smack our face with early game aggression. It looks like the Xin Zhao locked in as well. A very strong early game skirmishing jungler. Should have the upper hand up against Keel if you can get on top of him. Of course, if you can't, certainly turns the tides in the opposite direction. But we have this same very scary matchup for third party in the top lane. Last time round, we saw top lanes largely left on its island existence, with the damage carry was able to come out and really rain damage down onto everybody from 3P. This time round, he's given a much better champion at doing team fight damage. The Gwen over the Camille here is going to be an absolute menace through the early game, through the late game in the team fights as well. Expect to see, if there's no attention put up into this top side, existence really have a good showing.
Yeah, existence on Camille, pretty good. Gwen is a champion that is also like, all right, yeah, sure. You know what? If you're going to look at somebody on the champion, just continue to give existence these carries, right? You know that Traffy is going to try and play these tanks. You know that's going to be a playstyle he's going to play for. You know he's going to be weak side, right? We saw last game, Munchie didn't really have top lane at all. So you do know that that information is there, and you can be armed with that. So I really, really like this adaptation coming out from AGT. Just saying, hey, look, we're just going to keep the same pieces that work in the Nami Lucian, and we're just going to go unhinged and just control the game in mid and top.
Yeah, and they're able to switch in these different pieces as well. The Syndra as an answer to the Talia, a champion with no mobility. Obviously good versus a Talia in the essence that you're not going to get killed by the Unraveled Earth trying to dash through it, but also slightly poor in the fact that you are very susceptible to getting ganks. Both Messages and Munchie have got great gank set up for one another. If you end up with that seismic shove, it means that the Xin Zhao can get in very easily. If you find that knock up from the 3 Talon Strike from Munchie, it means it's very easy to land that seismic shove in response. So, do need to see Captain Shrimp's exercise a slight air of caution just because of that sort of really powerful mid-jungle 2v2 that they've got, where they probably can't match that too early on. But overall, we've got AGT with this very strong scaling into the late game top side with the Gwen, and then also just both of these teams with an absolute monstrous bot side of the map.
Yeah, and we are going into game number 2. Tournament lives are at stake right now. As third party, it is do or die for them to be able to write another page into their journey here. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna spat my water out. That was a You know what? In different games, that works, right? It looks silly because it was into nothing, but in different games, that genuinely works. The amount of times you'll see supports or AD carries just put that ward down and sit in the lane, it works. It's just a little bit unfortunate that this time round, it didn't. It comes at a cost of just Flash. That's not the biggest thing. He can still play offensively with the Hex Flash, just doesn't have that defensive tool this time to get through the early game if we see, and we expect to see, a lot of fighting around that bot side. Also comes at the cost of a severe amount of top side and bot side vision alike. Munchie's pathing is going to be completely documented. They're going to know exactly where he's starting and where Keel can path to, at what timings, to stop ganks, prevent ganks, and potentially even counter jungle.
I'm still trying to catch my breath after that. That was... I like it. You know, we talked about it. Just wants to be that aggressor. That's what we want to see third party doing. Doing just that, being the aggressor. And this is a lane that we have seen. You cannot play passive against them because Deep Learn and Duoselena, they just pop off inside of the game. Nice hook connect is going to be able to hit onto the Nami. The healing there does result in a trade in favor of this bot lane.
Oh, level
Talia
2.
Caught out. The Scatter the Weak hit, forcing the flash from messages.
And now Keel can just walk into this bot side. He got 2 camps. He's going to go into the bot side of 3P and take away some camps for himself. That ward there doing wonders. Munchie now knows that he can't really step foot into this bot side jungle without being really punished by the mid jungle 2v2.
Oh, what an interesting
1.
head stack flash. But look at this, Deep Learn doesn't care that there's a Nautilus sitting on top of him. He is so focused on just assassinating Lunar.
I mean, quite rightly, they were both level 1 still when they went for that play. A little bit too over-aggressive from Just right there. And certainly gets caught out, gets punished for that play. Now Munchie, can he get this red?
Oh, Keel gets the red. He's gone red to red. This means there's nothing left for him.
There's a Krug camp for Munchie down in the bot side, but whether or not he can get that because of the defense that he needs to do on his bot lane remains to be seen. Smite available for the 3P jungler.
Give him the scrap. Let's have some healing. Here we go. Over the wall. The Nautilus goes, but back to the base he shall go. As Lunar gets himself a little bit of damage in there. A kill for the Xin Zhao.
They're going to get in there.
Trying
go
to
Lunar.
fight him out. It's the Coliseum, baby. He's looking to fight inside of it. Lunar dashing in, looking to be stylish. The cleanse comes in, and it comes up clutch. He doesn't drop. Captain Trips looking to auto him down. We'll be able to find it, but it's almost the trick of the minions. Are not able to finish him off as the HP bot takes Captain Trips with a big roam.
Another play on the bot side for AGT. Like game number 1, they start out strong. It's a 3-for-2 in the bot lane. And so close, such minute margins. Captain Trips there, definitely the difference maker. Just sort of sacrificed his life here to get the play going. But Xin Zhao Samira in the early games are no slouch. Munchie just a little bit discoordinated there. As soon as that Q goes down, Luna knows he wants to get back in, wants to support his jungler, and they get the flash knock up. The repeat here, you think they're going to get both of them, but the stun from over the wall. Captain Shrimps saves the day and does find the return kill onto Luna. Bold Syndra strategy, simply auto attack, but it works out for him.
Dude, that auto attack was mid-animation. One more auto. Could have been all that was needed, and then all of a sudden we got a Samira that's got 2 kills. That's a disaster scenario in a lot of games.
It is, and you remember what we talked about in this early game, that there was going to be a lot of fighting around this bot side. Well, 3P now have to be on the back foot. Obviously, that fight went largely in AGT's favour. Kill for kill in terms of our ADCs, but we look at the wave state, it's AGT that have got complete control over it. This is going to be pushing into their turret, and it means that they can will Keel down into this bot side, say, hey, you know what, this Samira and Nautilus, who we've burned a lot of the summoners off, they're overextended, they're now in trouble, come get this gank, come get these kills.
Serve them right up. Messages. Trying to get this wave pushed in, hopefully to possibly get some roams on. Very active on the map on game 1 on the Tristana. We'll keep our eyes posted to see if we see that same level of activity here in game number 2.
Chaffee versus Existence on this top lane. We're expecting this to be largely farm-oriented. Neither one of the two top laners should particularly be looking for solo kills early on. The good thing about the Ornn in this matchup is that you can sort of build yourself into resistances for the laning phase before Existence gets back to base. You can see that in the fact that he's built up that Bami Cinder already, has that little bit of extra health to work with now, that Immolate passive as well. If he looks to try and find some trades, should be beneficial. Messages, though. Messages
caught out, is going to pay for it. Seismic Shove comes in big, but Captain Shrimps has a Scatter the Weak on the mine. You can put up the emote, but you will find power unleashed. Messages goes down to Captain Shrimps.
Yeah, TP is available, but the likelihood is that you want to keep that one, potentially lose a couple of minions on this wave. But now with that timing, Captain Shrimps, he's going to have to go to base as well. Has got no mana. His team taking the dragon, and should just be fairly safely secured. Bot lane Prio making that easily done, and then a lot of time wasted for Munchie. Spends his time down on this bot side and not going to get anything for it.
Yep, he was looking for the lane gank, but here we go. The wall been weaved, but unfortunately can't catch anybody on their escape path. So it is an ultimate ability, a big one, not able to come to fruition.
Existence has found a recall, now coming back to lane with that Leeching Leer, the start off of the Riftmaker, classic Gwen build, but now has a little bit of dueling potential back up against the Ornn, if they happen to need it. Double base in the wave of AGT is going to give the knowledge over to 3P that they can push that wave fairly safely, hopefully get that one under the turret and force a reset of the lane state so that their wave isn't quite in so much turmoil. But looking forward from 3P, what we sort of have acknowledged them to be is this great team fighting squad set up beautifully for those skirmishes. Unfortunately, the early game didn't really go their way. Their kills fairly though in the right spot with Xin Zhao plus Samira. I want to draw your attention to the scoreboard though. Those jungle CS numbers. Keel outpacing Munchie and as well making his presence felt on the map. Level up over his counterpart. Got the components of that Gore Drinker going and is looking pretty solid with that 100% kill participation.
Right now it is going into that 8-minute mark. We're starting to see those buff transfers getting completed possibly here. Munchie saying, no, I want this for myself. Messages just making sure to be at the defense. And I like this from Messages. He understands that he's not very strong at the current moment in time. So instead, he's there to see if Keel is going for that aggressive play. Because Keel has been very aggressive on this Graves time and time again.
That's a really important scuttle crab that's just been taken. Actually, we're at that window where the Rift Herald is about to spawn, potential priority looking to be established over it. It doesn't look like AGT need to roam their bot side up. Their power point of the Lucian Nami in the bot lane is allowed to stay in that bot side because they've punished Messages quite heavily in the mid lane. Captain Shrimps has that level lead, is 2-0-1 with those couple of kills, can really will Messages wherever he pleases, has complete control over that wave, and that sets up for Keel to move in, take this Rift Herald without too much concern. That on top of the fact that we know Existence is going to get priority in the top lane, Ornn never really going to have an answer to the Gwen throughout the duration of the game. It sets up for 3P to continue playing in this bot lane, but that means that AGT still have this Lucian Nami in their beneficial position.
Yeah, it's still exactly where they feel the most comfortable at, and that is worrisome. Especially after, with game one still fresh in our mind, we saw what was able to happen, but they haven't been able to press that advantage the same way that they did inside of game number one. Keel has not been able to make any action really happen bot side ever since that last little play that we got to see. You see Munchie feeling very confident marching forward towards his bot side with Messages there to support.
Yeah, feels confident enough to walk into that bot side. That one little element of mid lane prio was enough to secure the blue. And you talk about not having snowballed the game as much. I don't think that they're in as much of a position to need to this time out. The composition from 3P we know is going to be very difficult to navigate in the late game. Samira plus Xin Zhao, two champions that very difficult to have high impact on. The Samira can easily be CC'd. We've got things like Nami, the Syndra as well to try and do that job. And they've got Gwen in the late game who may well just find a solo kill right now. Certainly looking for it.
Yeah, the Ghost has been used, but it forces the Flash is still going forward. But Gwen is immune and will disengage from the remainder of this fight. A winning trade for Existence in the top lane.
gets the flash burned, and that means that in a couple minutes time when that needlework is back up and available, there's a very real possibility that we see Keel go up there, that they may perform a dive or something of the like to try and generate advantages elsewhere. Bot lane, Munchie is here. Audacious charge ready to go. You're looking at that wind becomes lightning to try and connect.
Oh, just tries to go in for the hood. This is a go signal, but it's not the signal you were looking for. Lunar going in. Munchie finds the kill, and it all comes up third-party favor in the bot lane. But unleashed power yet again from Captain Shrimps comes in and deletes messages, and it is AOE GTC coming out big across the map.
Yeah, they lose out in the bot lane, but 3P losing out across the rest of the Rift. Captain Shrimps, with those early kills, forcing down, getting a solo kill in the mid lane. That Rift Herald, as soon as they see the jungler on the bot side of Summoner's Rift, AGT spend no time, they waste none of it, they get up in that top side, they're going to clear out that top vision in its entirety. That's effectively 2 kills worth of gold going into both the jungle and the top laner for AGT, between the first turret going down and all of the plates as well. As soon as this hook misses, AGT lured into a false sense of security, but fortunately enough, Munchie's there to turn the tides. Luna almost falls with a slightly over-aggressive push, but with Captain Shrimps in this mid lane, it looks like as soon as that seismic shove goes wide, really good capitalization just says, I have got all the power in this mid lane right now, and takes that kill handily.
Very easily now has the Leandries. It just gets worse from there. The outplay button is something that you do not want to see Captain Shrimps playing if you're a fan of third party, or if you're playing in this matchup even more so importantly. But is going to be a little bit of a curious state. Now this Samira does have a kill and some assistance to him, and you were talking about it, the Samira is difficult to navigate, but definitely has that carry potential, and Lunar and Just have been playing very aggressive whenever they see the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't want to use the words like Samira falls off late game, because she can do an insane amount of damage. It's more so how difficult it is for the Samira to get out the damage. It's similar to the Lucian. Lucian does incredible amounts of damage in the late game, if you're allowed to get in range and ditch out those auto attacks, right? It's the same sort of thing with Samira, where typically the notion of AD carries is they want to play at range and they don't want to get sort of CC'd or taken out by any damage spells. The thing with Samira, you have to get in range. You have to dash forward. You have to be aggressive to get the maximum things out of her kit. If you sit back and you're auto-attacking and pressing Q, you're not getting the maximum value from the kit. You may as well just pick the Jinx. This time out, 3P, right, with this Samira, they have to try and get aggressive, and it was good to see them make that play down on the bot side. We need to see a little bit more of it, and as the game goes on, the notion is that those windows of opportunity become more and more difficult to find, because if you're dashing into a Gwen, into a Graves, their damage may well just match yours.
I just like the fact that Keel's taking blue buff, and you just see Captain Shrimps running for as fast as he possibly can. He's like, come on, please, I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it, let me have it, he's 3-0-1, please. But you can see that's like,
my blue buff's up in less than a minute. It's all good, don't worry.
You can have this one, it's fine, it's fine. Pulling used for some wave clear. We have a possible 3v3 skirmish on our hands.
No, Existence has TP, they're going to be unleashed in 20 seconds.
Yeah, Munchie taking a good amount of damage, has to throw out the challenge. Deep Blending baits out the depth charge. Captain Shrimps is coming in from the river, and third party cut their losses.
Yeah, so they burn a couple ultis there, the Crescent Guard and the Depth Charge no longer available. In exchange, of course, for the Tidal Wave plus the culling that was used to defend against the initial dive, so 2 for 2 overall. But you can see that they're constantly looking AoE on this bot side to try and force this Samira back, make sure that they're not just giving over free kills time and time again, and that they can try and punish this Samira a little bit. But with her now having returned back to base, has picked up a Serrated Dirk as well, likely working toward that collector, which is going to have a lot of value this game, given that we don't expect too many people are going to be stacking that armor from AGT.
Yeah, but look at the itemization coming out from them. You got the Riftmaker, you got the Leandries, you got the Kraken Slayer. Like GTC, they're building with the idea of what the other team has. They're ready to burn, shred, tear apart any HP that they see on the opposing side, especially this Ornn, as tanky as he could possibly get. But it's going to be a Herald started up. Third party are the first ones in on it.
And they got themselves a Dragon as well. They are finding these objectives, ones that we maybe think they don't have too much business going for, but this is again alluding back to Keel potentially finding a kill.
Yeah, the shield bow has been proc. Nice flash to get out of range from kill, but that's a scary scenario to be in.
Yes, nicely played on both fronts. Keel forces the flash in the bot side and Luna uses the flash wisely to get out to safety. Does net this turret down in the bot side for AGT, and what I was going to say, with the Herald being given over, with that Dragon being given over as well, is AGT's cognizance of them also thinking, potentially, this game doesn't need to be won in 20 minutes. The later the game goes, the more we favour ourselves, the more time Existence has to scale up on this Gwen and become a teamfight menace that nobody can particularly deal with. If that does happen to, be the case, that's when we're going to particularly see AGT's patience in this early game rewarded. They are up in gold. They're about 3,500 gold to the good. And right now they're just slowly increasing their investments, waiting for their strengths to, continue to compound. Because you can see every single lane matchup up in gold. Everywhere across the rift outside of support, which is of negligible importance, is ahead. They can keep just slowly playing this farm up style, and then in 5-10 minutes, when it's really important, go for those fights and likely win them.
And the big lead is on Keel and Captain Shrimps, man. These are two people who have been pushing the envelope for aggression. One's 1-0-3, the other's 3-0-1. They're looking to put the hurt down in the mid lane. But it does force out the TP. Traffic TP's in. It says, hold up real quick, I gotta build an item.
1 second, lads. It's time for me to get myself an item as AGT looking to contest this Dragon. 3P. Triple bubble. Oh no.
Tsunami comes in, is blocked by the Samira. Call, the Forge guy comes in on Galette. Lunar finds the kill onto Kill, and now it's Gwen who is
Existence is
into
here.
the fight. Existence is going to be huge as he is chopping the competition down to size. Captain Shrimps finds 2 kills. It is just pandemonium, and third party get aced.
Double kill for both the solo lane as AGT's TP comes through, and it is a massive. Existent wreaks havoc on one side, Captain Shrimps wreaks havoc on the other, and third party are routed. They lose all 5 members. They're gonna lose this Dragon as well. They burn everything on Keel here, just looking to start this off. Go for the Graves. Yes, they managed to take him down, but at what cost? Just goes into the backline and, does a good job, buys a lot of time. At this point, it's looking pretty good for third party. But then here comes the Gwen, does such a good job. Captain Shrimps is constantly just putting damage out left, right, and center on the front line rather, as we see Deep Lane barely limping away, and Existence very happy with that Gwen performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. You see those 2 threats. They're playing this double threat here, and it's just the Gwen and Syndra get to split apart the party. I love the fact that they're fighting from opposite sides of that fight, and they're able to do that. And that's something that we're seeing from this squad. They are playing all carries around the map because they have confidence in their mechanical skill to be able to pop off, to be able to outplay these teamfight scenarios. And even though Captain Shrimp started off that fight getting tagged by CC after CC, that confidence is still there. Third party are going to be able to get a tower. This is an objective bounty as well. Some nice gold being pumped into Lunar.
But if they go for a second one, there's a chance they get collapsed on for the fight. Existence is in this brush, going to get checked, walks out. Mystery's over, but AGT, they probably wouldn't want to give this turret over.
Yeah, Captain Shrimps has a really good TP flank if he does decide to take it, but Messages just gets deleted off the map. They try to stop it, but Gwen is completely just chopping them down. It is another kill for Kill to be able to secure. Just is gone as well as a double kill for the jungle in top of GTC, and only the Ornn remains.
Yeah, and with hindsight, we can see that that's an overreach, but third party just trying to get everything that they could from that Herald, and 5 members of AOE Ginger Turmeric collapse down. Complete lack of vision behind the river, and that bubble just starts everything off. 3P, you should see that bubble land and just think, okay, that's it, we're done. We have to sacrifice Messages here. Instead, they stick around a little too long, they opt to go for the fight, and they really get punished for it. Just gives the double kill over to Keel, and with those going over, we're once again at this point where AOE Ginger Turmeric have got themselves this massive lead before the Baron has even spawned. This time round, it's not going to be them using the Herald to break open the base. They don't have that luxury, but they are looking very confident, and you can see Messages literally dying before he even got to cast a spell in that last fight. The Samira, 266 damage. It's again, just slowly but surely AGT eking out those advantages and then pulverizing 3P when they get the chance.
I mean, Talia's a strong champion, but this is showing exactly one of the big weaknesses of Talia, right? Like,
Nobody's a strong champion if they get CC'd for 5 seconds.
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like even in like laning phase, like Captain Shrimps is just like, yo, let me slam Syndra and let me show him like what I can do. It's a very lane dominant champion, and we're seeing the effect of it. Captain Shrimps is putting out huge amount of damage. He's not afraid to TP flank on Syndra, and Messages hasn't been able to have a wall that he's been able to build that has been effective for the team. They haven't been able to utilize what Talia does best.
And also, you can tell a lot about a game state by the mage itemization, I think. From Messages in particular, have to hold it, Keel on a journey.
Yeah, Keel is on a journey, but not magical. Is finding himself victim to a depth charge. Nice tsunami, and they keep Keel alive. But the Core of the Forge guy comes in. Ornhorn goes wide. Not able to find the mark. The Weaver's Wall is there, but it doesn't divide the team. They just leap right over it. Traffy trying to see what he can do, but Existence is in the backline running free. And Traffy will go down. Only Messages survives.
And once again, everything committed for Keel. This time they don't even take him down. AOE Ginger Turmeric are going to turn to the Baron 21 minutes into the game, knock down the big purple worm, and set themselves up for a convincing 2-0. Third party tried with their might to try and take down the Graves to begin the fight. They were not successful, and they paid for it. Seismic Shove goes wide, Hook doesn't land, the depth charge comes through and connects, but Gore Drinker, and just a lack of damage from third party, just means they can't take it down. Ornhorn goes wide. The Weaver's Wall doesn't do too much to separate the fight. You can see that Messages never really gets in there, and as soon as Existence shows up, it is all done for. The Gwen is gaming and able to take down 2 people in the back end.
You know, when the meme and whatnot is when the boss music starts playing. Dude, I want to propose a question to you. What do you do when you load into the game and the boss music starts and it doesn't stop?
You know, what you do at that point is you go to last save point and you think, how can I set myself up better for this fight?
Yeah, well, that's what they have to do, right? Third party is in a troublesome spot. It's almost 10k differential in gold. They haven't been able to find themselves a good win inside of a fight. And their saving grace has been the Samira. They haven't been able to do that with it. 4 Messages? His teammate just recalled. Of course, he wouldn't have been able to help him from this. Existence is just a bully at this point in time. He is going to allow him to bat, but look at this. Traffy can't even deal with this. He's just getting shredded.
Yeah, I mean, Kraken Slayer plus Phantom Dance are the 2 best items to go for in terms of trying to take out a tank in this case, and Munchie is trying to flank.
Yeah, looking for the flank. He is going to have that Call to Forge guy come in, but the Tsunami is there. Justice trying to come in. Hits the anchor toss.
Potential.
Is able to get a nice bit of CC. Deep Learn goes down. The Inferno Grenade is so stylish. It looks clean. Lunar, is this the play that they were looking for? They're going to be able to find 3 kills, but unfortunately the cleanup clue is here. No. A quadra kill for Existence.
Another TP flank, and Existence makes his mark once more. This Gwen has been unparalleled the entire game, and Existence shows us why. 10-0-3. Legendary performance for AGT's top laner, and they may well just solidify it with the series right here.
It looks like the death timers are not in the favor of third party. They've got Baron. They are chomping at the bits here. They are going to recall here. They don't want to push their luck past this point, but just when you think there's hope, Rude Dude.
The fact, like we say, right? It looks like Luna could have potentially gone huge. The resets of the Samira, the Inferno triggers blazing. They do take down Deep Learn, and that AD carry out of the picture presents a winning opportunity. But they've taken down both of the AD carries before. Keel and Deep Learn have been taking down these games. Unfortunately, Captain Shrimps and Existence are both still kicking. They have both got 700 gold bounties. They have both not died yet. And then a 25 stack Dark Seal for Captain Shrimps. He's working his way toward that Rabadon's. You have to take down all 4 members of AGT that are carries, or you're not going to win.
I also would like to point out that Captain Shrimp stole Existence's Penta. His Messages is going to go down. You are completely correct when you say Existence is legendary, because Existence is here to give a reminder. Ghost used in the play, but they're just playing this the way they want to. They are catching out anybody. They are playing it systematic, and AOE GTC, they're just looking to close out the game with this incredible lead they've got.
That was one of those points, right, where Message is like, okay, Gwen's on my screen, I'll walk away. But unfortunately, if Gwen's on your screen, you're already dead. And right there, we get to see it really exemplified. No Rabadons yet completed for Captain Shrimps, but honestly, that does not matter. They're able to push through that top lane. They've got super minions pushing in the bot lane. They're making sure they're getting their mid pushed in as well. And with no mid lane, this could just be a siege taken out.
Yep. Gwen is immune. Resistance gets out of harm's way. Syndra is laying in so much damage, by the way. It's so disgusting. These are some tanks that they're getting hit up on. Here we go. Call the Fortune guy coming in. They absolutely eviscerate Shrimps! But now it is vengeance on the mind of AOE GTC. Resistance marching forward. He's another bounty. He's a valuable member, but the grenade is not enough. He is not stylish enough to be able to finish him off. AOE GTC are looking to close out the game. Only Messages is alive, but it's not enough. The Nexus lays bare, and third party will be eliminated. AOE, Ginger, Turmeric are going to go on to playoffs.
And they secure themselves a spot in the quarterfinals of the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier #1 for summer. 26 minutes and 22 minutes, a very dominant best of 3 series by the AOE GTC guys. A very dominant set of plays. Overall, this entire series never looked even close. 3P really did get dismantled in this, and this time round, it was very evident that we got a lot of top lane priority from Existence, that he was able to really run over the entirety of 3P. The game before, we got a bot lane show. It's good to see that we've got areas of all of this map, or all of the AOE squad, able to take fights and take these leads and really run with them through to a game win.
I feel like the big thing to highlight too is GTC is so good at playing from ahead. The mechanical prowess that you have from all your laners in your jungle is insane, right? Like, you have so much prowess mechanically throughout your team. So when you get an advantage, you just carry it out. And look at this. This is what happens when you have this. Look at the Gwen damage. Look at the gold difference over time.
It's like, you know, when we talk about snowballs, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, that is just a snowball that never stopped rolling. It goes consistently all the way down, and AOE Ginger Turmeric were just able to win throughout the entire game, right? It took them to about 10-12 minutes before they looked for their first real engagement, and then after that, they would just take fight after fight after fight, and they would just keep winning. Eventually, it ends them with the Nexus turret, and they're able to just come out with that really nice win.
Yeah, this is going to be something else, but we are going to go ahead and take ourselves a short little break. I believe we have an interview with Messages actually going into this next bit, so take a break, and when we come back, we will have that interview prepped and ready.
Oh, sorry.
Hey there, how's it going, everybody? And hey, yo, we got an interview with Messages themselves. How are you doing, man? I know it's not under the most favorable circumstances.
Yeah.
But...
I'm doing okay. You know, I think I'm just a bit sad. Obviously, it's sad to lose in such a fashion like how we did. We kind of got stomped, I'm not going to lie. But playing with the sub and doing that well throughout the entire tournament, I think I'm pretty happy with our results, at least.
I think y'all deserve to be, right? Like, that was absolutely a great performance. I know a lot of the casters were hyping you guys up as like this big underdog team. And I just have to ask, how is y'all's mental? Because y'all are always like, we always look at your games and we're like, wow, they just fight from behind. Y'all are constantly scrapping. Y'all are going for plays that no other team is. Is there some sort of mentality y'all like to preach amongst yourselves? Or y'all just like, yo, we go in for the kill and only the kill?
The way our team's like formed is like, we're just meant to skill check you. We'll out skill check every single player in almost every single role, so we're just gonna keep constantly fighting, and if we ever like play a fight super well from behind, we're probably just gonna snowball into a like game winning lead. You could see how we did that against Team Fish Tacos, super far behind the entire game. We won a few fights and then it was just like over from there, right? So that's just the way we like to play the game. Like, we'll just constantly fight you and try to skill check you at every point. So
Y'all have been a team that has been growing quite a bit. So I do want to ask about that, because third party as an org has been inside of all the Proving Ground circuit qualifiers, and it has been an upward trend for you guys. So how has that been going? Has it been that growth that y'all have just been feeling as time continues to go on?
Yeah. I think we've gotten better with every single placement, right? Our first qualifier, we didn't even qualify to play. And then the second one, we qualified, but we went 0-2 in both the matches. And then this time we at least won one game and we qualified. So I think the next time we're just getting better and better. And the next time we'll probably beat or get out first seed or just get out of the playoffs. So just look forward to that improvement of us.
The steps to world domination. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I do want to kind of touch on the fact that you talked about the TFT game. That was a fan favorite team coming in. How did it feel to come in and bring up what is a big upset to a lot of the people who were watching Proving Grounds, looking at the names that were on that team?
I honestly think we should have been favored if you're asking me, but obviously I'm a little biased. I think TFT has really good players, but I think we just have better players role for role. So I don't think there's any world that they should be favored above us. But I think the game against them just shows how much we have to prove. And we were playing with a sub, do mind. So just imagine how much better our team could be if we actually had our main roster together and kind of one of our key players playing the game with us. Right.
Keep those skill checks going. I like it. Yeah. I like it. So what's next for messages? Let me know. What you got next, man?
Probably just gonna grind a lot of CQ. I mean, that's all kind of what I do, right? I just play CQ and I get thankfully 25 ping over there, not my 80 I get normally playing solo queue. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably grind CQ. I might stream also, but yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna be mostly doing, just CQ and grinding solo queue. So that's what's next for me at least.
I'm happy that you're able to get rid of the ping. I really am happy. I know you're paying on that one, bro. With that being said, last thing I want to ask, anything that you would like to say to anybody who's been following Third Party or yourself?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for supporting Third Party and just all of our players, even if it's not just me, just Lunar, Munchie, Dinka, Traffy. We really appreciate it, and our coaching staff as well, Daimon and Taki. We work really hard. And we just want to keep showing you guys how much more improvement we have, and to not sleep on us, and always look out for us, because we will upset some teams eventually. Okay, this next OQ will probably be the time we do it.
Technically, you did one this time, so next time 2 is coming up. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I'll be keeping my eyes on that. And thank you so much, Messages, for coming in for this interview. We're going to send it over to a short break, and when we come back, we'll be going into another interview, so make sure you do not touch that browser. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. And we have Kill among us today. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Glad we 2-0'd pretty quick.
Yeah, it was a very convincing game, and I gotta real quick, it looked a little personal, man. You were getting into the face of Third Party quite a bit on the Wukong especially, man. So walk me through that. Were you guys going into this game with the mindset that you were just going to be living inside that jungle, or what was up?
Kind of, yeah. After our loss last week, we just talked about draft a lot and tried to figure out what our identity actually is, what's even strong, what we're trying to do. And I think we fixed a lot of problems that we had, so yeah. I think that's what it ended up looking like in the games.
I think it's a very weird thing too, because you talked about draft. You guys have some of the most interesting players to draft with. Most notably, Captain Shrimps, of course, is the big one that everybody looks at. How is it trying to navigate draft when you have so many different champion oceans? Kill, I think your VMIT's actually closed out. If you could refresh that real quick. We get Kill back inside of the VMITs. There we go. Back in. We're back in it. But yeah, so great to hear, you got that champion ocean, a bunch of differing opinions inside the game. How does it feel when everybody gets to run wild like we got to see, right? We got to see Existence and Captain Shrimps and all this other stuff. Everybody got to have a turn really popping off inside of games.
Yeah, it felt good. I think that we're a lot more willing to play to everyone now. It's kind of one of the things we worked on, and just really focusing, and I don't think we ever fall behind early games, so just making sure we keep it clean to close it out.
Now, your next matchup is AOE, which is very funny. We get the Civil War. It always ends up happening somehow between the AOE inside their org. But I have to ask, how confident are you going against a squad that you guys probably know very well going in?
I think 0% chance we'll lose them.
0% chance you lose? Not a single game?
Yeah, we should 2-up. Full confidence.
Full confidence? Look, I like to hear that. Okay. Is there a team that you might be keeping your eyes on then if AOE isn't even on the radar, it sounds like?
No team. I think if we just keep playing well, I don't think we should lose to anyone. I have full confidence in my team.
I love it. I love to hear it. That's fantastic to hear. Well, Kill, I have to ask, is there anything that you would like to shout out or anything of the sort as we are getting prepped for y'all? I'm assuming getting prepped for tomorrow.
Yeah, just shout out my teammates. Everyone's working hard, and I can feel that everyone's trying like as hard as they can and putting in full effort. So, just shout out my team.
That's fantastic to hear. Well, thank you so much, Kill. We're going to
you.
go ahead and close out this interview and go back over to our caster desk here, as we are going to be joined in here back with Rude Dude, my good friend. How are you doing, dude? You got a beautiful smile on your face, I see, as we come back in.
Certainly excited to have those words with Keel and messages. Thanks to both of those guys for hopping on in at such a time. Obviously, some great confidence from Keel as well. Something we love to see.
Yeah, confidence from both players, honestly. I love to see that. Even though messages, like they said, they had a rough showing, they were able to come in with that confidence. But, bro, that confidence from Kill is legendary. He said, yo, AOE, 0% chance 2-0. Ask him who is he worried about? No one. Not a thing.
Does not care. And that's the type of confidence that you need. That's the type of resilience that you need to sort of really go through a tournament and potentially try and consider yourselves one of those favourites, right? If you're coming in expecting to win it all, you can't be scared of anybody, and having that confidence to move forward with, it certainly bodes well for this team to see what they can do.
Yeah, it bodes well indeed, and I've been waiting to do this. Give me those predictions. Show them up, throw them up. What? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hold up. Who predicted Fear? I just want to, say over on the other stream, Fear did pick up that dub. Me and Twitter, all of you guys who were on Twitter voting, this dub is for us, okay? Nobody can take this from us. This is for us.
For the two of you. Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong. You got us with that one. Very well played. You know what? GG. We got to give you that one. There's nothing more to say. You have simply won in that instance. I'm happy that I got a Taco Gaming win in there, and AOE as well, doing me good. My B-stream predictions have come through. I've sort of manifested my own predictions to life on this side. We'll have to see how the CLG TBA game goes.
Yeah, that's the only one left to show at this current moment in time inside the Academy, and we can see actually how the playoff bracket works. 100 Thieves Nets, Taco Gaming, AOE Esports versus AOE Ginger Turmeric. And then we have Jake's Kittens taking on Cincinnati Fear in an EG Prodigies. They are in the waiting room, waiting to see if they are going against TBA or CLG Faith.
So many good matchups. We have AOE Civil War. We have Taco Gaming, who are slowly becoming just a favorite organization, up against 100 Thieves Next, who are just one of the best teams in amateur that exists. Like, there's no other way of putting it. And then Jake's Kittens as well, coming in and really showing off up against Cincinnati Fear, this local-based organization out of Cincinnati, looking to show up with 3/5 of the previous champions of the circuit qualifiers from no team on their team as well. Looks like they finally started to hit their stride, and in the playoffs with best of threes, it's still anybody's game. I think that none of these series are particularly easy to predict, and the scoreline's even less so.
What do you have a matchup that you're looking forward to the most, Rudu?
I think Jake's Kit and Cincinnati Fear. I've said this pretty much the entire time that I've been on this championship. Cincinnati Fear have got the highest ceiling that they haven't shown yet. I think that when this team is good, they can meet top 4, top 2, and probably win a championship, because they've done 3/5 of them did it before. The top, the mid, and the support, all from no team, who won championship circuit qualifier in spring number 2. If anybody's going to do it, I have my eyes batting on them.
I also like the idea that it's XT, the manager of Jake's Kittens, is also torn up by watching his former boys have to fight each other. It's a great storyline there. But somebody who we don't have to fight with is our absolutely lovely sponsors who make sure that we're able to provide this high quality action inside of these games. So thank you to Atlantic, HyperX, and Zowie for making sure that we're able to have this stream, have these fantastic games, and make sure that we're able to just put on a fantastic show and be able to tell the stories of these prospects that are putting it all on the line here on Proving Grounds.
Yeah, but telling their story, they have done a very good job. All players, honestly, so far throughout this stream, the Academy stream, every single team in or out of the qualifier. So at this point, done a very good job, and we can't wait to see the rest and what the rest of this tournament has got to give.
Absolutely, but for that, our time is up. We are done here for the night. There's still a match going over on the Academy stream, so make sure you go and check that out as there is still some big action happening over there. That being said, I've been joined here with the absolutely beautiful Rude Dude. My name's Travesty. I wish you all a great night.